Boys and girls, the Wolf Springs PTO, the Parent Teacher Organization, which is a group of awesome parents and teachers and people who love Wolf Springs, they've asked if our artists, if you guys could provide illustrations for the directory. The Wolf Springs directory is a collection of everyone's names and addresses. And I'm super excited. I love the opportunity for you guys to illustrate something that people will use. Our fifth graders will have the opportunity to make the cover art if they wish, and everybody else is going to see how to make a landscape. A landscape is the picture of the land, and the reason I'm showing that to everybody is the theme for this year at Wolf Springs is talking about forging new trails, blazing new paths, finding new places to go. Because this is a year like we haven't had before. So we are embarking on new adventures and trying new things. So everyone will see this quick video about landscapes, and then different classes will be doing different illustrations. So today you will be making two illustrations. One for me, for sure, for the directory, and then hopefully you'll have time and you can make one to take home. So stay tuned, you'll see a little video about a landscape, and then we'll talk about what you and your class will do for the illustration for the directory. A landscape is a drawing or a painting of the land, and there are some parts of a landscape that you see in almost all of them. There's a horizon line, that's where the sky meets the land. There's usually a foreground, the stuff that comes in the front, stuff that's in the middle, and things that are in the background. I'm going to show you how to draw a landscape, or how I drew a landscape. I start with the horizon line. That's the line that separates the sky from the land. In this case, I'm going to make these tall, pointy mountains, and those will be my horizon line. Once I make the really tall lines for the mountain, I'm going to put some snow on them. So I'm putting some dotted lines for snow. Those are in the background. Those mountains are in the background. In the middle ground, the middle part of my landscape, I'm putting a little lake. And then in the foreground, in the front, I decided to put a tent in the front. A tent is kind of easy to make. I made sort of a triangle and then connected some of those parts. I'm going to have three parts of my landscape: foreground, middle ground, and background. I added some other details too, like a little campfire and some grass. When you're drawing your pictures for the directory, you might consider drawing some things, unless you have something that your class is doing. You might draw some things that remind you of camping. Now I decided to color this in. The images that we are going to make for the directory will only be black and white because that is really easy to see. Our fifth graders, if they would like to do cover art, they could do cover art in full color. And if you're interested in doing that, let's make sure that we talk. So there's my landscape, all colored in. And I want to remind you of the different parts of a landscape. There's Mrs. Blair. I'm in the front, or the foreground. There I am flying back to the middle ground. And there's the background, standing on the mountains. Foreground, the path is in the foreground, and the path gets smaller as you go back into the distance. And there I am, standing on water in the middle ground. And yep, there I am, climbing a mountain again in the background. So the things in the very front are in the foreground, the things in the middle are the middle ground, and the stuff in the back is the background. So that is a landscape. Let's talk about what each class can do as an illustration for the directory.